What's up, YouTube? This is True Raw 4 TV. All right, so before I get into this video, shout out to the brother Jesse Gladsaget. I saw him on X, formerly known as Twitter, responding to a quote from, I think it might have been from Joel Embiid, right? Or it was either Joel Embiid, that particular quote, or it might have been something that Gilbert said in addition to this whole thing about Joel Embiid being robbed of MVPs because of the new 65 game rule, right? So, if you haven't heard, Gilbert Arenas is making a ridiculous argument saying that the 65 game rule that the NBA implemented to get these guys to go out there and freaking play, that this rule is unfair to Joel Embiid, right? Saying, quote, matter of fact, I think I can play it for you. Here we go.
20-something from years from now, because nobody's gonna remember this part in history that this came in and he lost his MVP because of a rule. He's not gonna be put into history fairly, and it makes me think about the past, things that happened in the game that we are looking at these stats as legit, and some of these stats for people weren't legit because something happened to someone else, and he's going to be one of those guys. He's probably the best player in the league. Him and Jokic is fighting for who's number one, and I don't think his
God, Lord, man.
his legacy is going to mirror that he was dominant.
That close to Jokic.
Yeah,
dominant.
like he was this dominant. Like when you're talking about them two battling each other, Embiid beat this man's ass. If you put the 65 rule in and then go back across the board,
penalizing him and weighing everybody else's accolades based on that,
you will see a lot of these accolades would have been taken away. Because for the most part, all NBAs and all that stuff, I'm sorry, but you want me to vote? Yeah, he played 58 games. His 58 games is more powerful than his 82. That's why we voted for him. So you're trying to, the 65 games is for the athlete, but it's for the voters too. Basically saying, no, you can't use Embiid, go somewhere else. You know what I mean? Because obviously these guys are getting voted in with 55 games, 50 games. To that voter, they thought this was more powerful.
Yeah.
Right? This has nothing to do with it. If we would have said Embiid is MVP last year and he only played how many games?
39.
Somebody would have voted. They'd have been like, yeah, that's still MVP.
Because when he was out.
That's such a bullshit argument, man. First of all, I think Jesse made this point. When you look at the history of the NBA, you look at league MVPs, there's only been one guy who I can think of that, and this is since they expanded to 82 games. There's only been one guy to win that award since the league has been playing 82 games that played, I think, in less than 65 games, and that's Bill Walton in 1977-78. He played in 58 games that year. Now, the only reason why I think Bill Walton won that is because of the historical impact he had on that Portland Trailblazers team that year, okay? That team went 58-24 during the regular season, right? But in the first 60 games in which he played in before he broke his, I think he broke his foot, he never played another game for Portland. During that 60-game start, they went 50-10. 50-10. So they were on pace to win damn near 70 games. Okay? They were on pace to be the only repeat champions of the 1970s. When he gets hurt, they go 8-14 the rest of the way. And I think they get knocked out. I think they got knocked out in the second round of the playoffs. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong on that. It's either the second round or the Western Conference Finals, but I think it was the second round. But be that as it may, he's the exception because of a historic season he was having and the Portland Trailblazers. Other than that, MVPs have generally played more than 70 games. If you look at the list of MVPs since they expanded the scheduled 82 games, hell, before that, even was 80. Those guys played most of the games. Like, I think even Allen Iverson in 2000, 2001, he played in like maybe at least 73, 74 games. Maybe more than that. So, no. Actually playing the games matter. I'm sorry, it matters. You know, that's why people can't really give all that much credit to Ron Artest in 2004, 2005. Look, by the numbers, if you look at averages, Ron Artest had a superb all-star level 2004-05 season. Now, that season was cut short because of the malice at the Palace, but let me see. That year, he played in 7 games, averaged 41.6 minutes, 24.6 points, 6.4 rebounds, 3.1 assists, 1.7 steals, 41% shooting from the floor. 7 games. Right? Wilt Chamberlain had seasons with the Lakers, a season cut short where he averaged, before he got hurt, he was averaging 31 points per game, leading the league in scoring. No, part of this thing when it comes to the MVP award, part of it's winning, part of it's dominance, part of it's consistency, but part of it's availability, man. I'm sorry. It matters. It matters. That might be partially why Jerry West never won an MVP award, because he was hurt a lot more than the other guys. But at least he made a, you know what I'm saying, an effort to come out there. But plus, with Joel Embiid, it's a pattern with him. A lot of it's self-inflicted with him. Okay, how many times have we said with Joel Embiid, before that, how many times we've heard reports that this guy be drinking on flights to games, this guy be drinking 3-4 chocolate malts and cheeseburgers. Okay, the guy is 7 feet tall and he weighs between 285 and 300 pounds. Well, we all know the way they play the game today, it's beneficial to lose weight. That's why Jokic during the pandemic, remember the reports that Jokic went from 285 to 259, and then all of a sudden his level of play just went through the roof. Maybe that has something to do with it too. Accountability. Don't blame the rules. Now all of a sudden we're lowering the bar to the point where these guys can play 39 fucking games and win MVPs. God damn, don't they get paid $60 million, $70 million a year already? Don't they get private flights? Don't they get all these extra amenities? Don't they get to fuck the baddest bitches in the world? Now all of a sudden, not now, they can get MVPs playing 35% of the season. It's unbelievable. The lowering of the bar that these guys are asking for, man. It matters playing games. It matters. That's why Kawhi Leonard gets the smoke he gets. And I don't like the equivalency that some people are making with Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain played when he was healthy. Remember, Wilt had a year he averaged 48.5 minutes. So you can't sit there and say Wilt wasn't playing when he was healthy. Or, well, to be honest with you, he stayed healthy most of the time. Wilt came back from an injury that ended the career of, what's the guy named? Andre Roberson. That ended his career. The injury that Wilt came back from 45 years earlier at the time. Don't quit with Wilt with Joel Embiid. Wilt Chamberlain won championships. He just wasn't he didn't have the benefit of free agency. He didn't have the benefit of, you know what I'm saying, free agency, allowing players to have greater freedom of movement. See, what would Bill Russell have done if Sam Jones left in free agency and played with the Warriors, or if John Havlicek left in free agency for better money and a better situation for him going back home in Ohio and playing for the Royals? Don't you think he would have liked to have done that? What if K.C. Jones left? What if, Tom Heinsohn left in free agency? What if Bob Cousy left in free agency? See, people don't ask themselves these critical questions. They just equate everything like it is. They think that everything like how it is today was like how it was back then, or how things are today were existing back then. Nobody talks about free agency. Hell, if they had free agency and it was a player empowerment league, Will could have teamed up with the Lakers, Elgin Baylor, and Jerry West maybe 6 or 7 years earlier. We having a totally different conversation. But yeah, anyway, man, Joel Embiid got to get his ass out there on the court and play. Ain't no excuses now. He got himself a great team. And yeah, individually, it's true. When he has played, he has had great success against Jokic. The problem is, ever since the last 2 years, when they've been matching up, there's always some convenient reason why he can't play. Now all of a sudden, when he's in the Olympics, when he got a super squad around him, now he's busting Jokic ass. I take that back. The excuse was he can't play on the road. That's what it was. He played at home. But on the road, there was always some excuse why he can't play. So I had to correct myself there. But anyway, yeah, this is a bullshit excuse, man. End of the day, you shouldn't be winning NBA awards and accolades if you can't play 65 games. That's how it works. I'm sorry. That's how it is, man. There's been a lot of great players who've had great seasons that were cut short due to injuries, and it was lost in time. Let me check something out right quick. (2001, 2002). Well, you know what? It's not a good example. It's not a good example. Let me look for a better example. Give me 1 second. 2011, 2012, Kobe Bryant was an all-star, but he played in only 58 games, 27.9 points, 5.4 rebounds, 4.6 assists, 1.2 steals, right? He only played 58 games. Because of that, he lost some accolades that he probably would have won had he played in more games. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. And there's other players like that. You go through all great players' careers, and missing games cost them some accolades. You know, that's all I got to say about it, man. Tell me you guys think.